huge act of self-love and how to make one. Making a personal boundary. When I make a personal boundary, it's very internal, it's very private, and it's very specific and tailored just to me. A personal boundary is only for me and for me. It has nothing to do with anybody else. It is only for me. It's my journey. It's my self-love. It's my thing that I'm going to set up and create. When I want to make a personal boundary, it usually starts with a feeling. I have to learn how to identify my feeling, listen to my feeling, and usually this means that when I need to make a boundary, I'm over some kind of limit or personal limit. Boundaries is an action step, and the thing that people forget a lot is that there's two parts to a boundary. You make a boundary, but then you make a consequence. A boundary doesn't work or is called a boundary because you just said something out into the world of how something should be. There has to be that you say the thing and then you say, or else I choose to do this, or else I will do this, or else this will happen, or we will see how this plays out next time. Like there's another part to it. So you have to say the thing and then you have to say the consequence. It doesn't mean that it's a mean or a nasty consequence. It just means that there is going to be something that happens if someone chooses to do it this way or that way. So I make a personal boundary, which means I say to myself, I go, okay, so I know that I'm going to miss my workout. So I would go, oh, darn, I'm going to miss my workout. My whole day is getting all pushed around. So I might feel upset about that and I might feel disappointed. It's good for me to the circumstance happened, the change happened. It's good for me to practice my feeling in that moment and go, okay, I feel disappointed about this. So feel it. And then what am I going to do about it? So it's whenever I'm going to miss a thing, I'm going to create another time to do it. This would be this is how you become really accountable because you're not just saying, oh, I miss it and it floats away because you're just like a victim. But when you hold it and still make it sacred and true, it's still important. And you go, I'm going to still do this. I'm still going to make this happen. It's still important to me. I am still thinking about it. That is huge accountability. That's how change happens. And boundaries really help me grow, right? They help me keep the things that are important to me in my life. They help me protect my needs. And when my needs get met, when I have self-love, everything else gets better. Everything else gets watered. Another personal need of mine, a personal boundary, because this is internal, could be when someone says something negative to me, I could hear that negative thing and I could be like, okay, I see the negative comment coming my way. I could be like, you know what? My personal boundary now, and I don't talk about this to anyone. This is just my work, is, well, I'm just not going to believe the thing that they say. And when they say that thing, I'm just going to be like, well, I think this. And right in that moment is a time when I can heal something in my brain. And so they say I don't like that you wear your hair that way. And an old version of myself would have gone, oh, but I can't believe they don't like my hair. And I should have done this. I should have not, and felt all this shame. Old me would have taken that on and felt shame just because someone said that to me. Now, what I do now is a personal boundary would be, I hear the thing, I let it come in and I go, okay, that's too bad they said that. I feel uncomfortable and maybe I sink a little. And then what I would do is just be like, whoop, and zip it up and just be like, you know what? I like my hair. I just like my hair. And I just say that in my head and it just goes right over the mean thing that might have been said. It just goes right over. I delete it and put something better in its place. And I don't take it on as true for me. I just take it on as words. I don't talk to them about it. I don't talk to them about their comment, their behavior, their opinion. I just let that water rush on by. Who cares? That's a personal boundary. That's how I protect my safety, my self-worth. It's not about stopping everybody and controlling everybody and having a million boundaries to people to keep people away. It's just about how do I keep myself safe in situations? When do I pull away? When am I over my limit? Do I need a personal boundary here? What's my action plan when I miss a thing? What's my action plan when I hear a thing that's not okay with me? What do I say instead? Like, my personal boundary is that whenever I hear something negative, I say something positive to myself. I just always do that. I never used to do that, but I do that now. Like, that's my action plan. That's taking accountability for my health, for my recovery. Personal boundaries are great, and I used to have none of them. And you also need external boundaries too. But in this video, I'm just talking about personal boundaries. Another personal boundary could be that I really like to be on time. So I could say, if I'm not on time and I'm late for something, what I do is I look at my schedule and I go, when do I leave the house now? What time do I start to leave now? Like, I go and make a change. If something happens consecutively or is starting to be a pattern and it's impacting my life in a negative way, then I address that with an action plan. I make a personal boundary for me. Another personal boundary for me is, say there's a conversation that's just getting a little bit heated and I start feeling myself getting elevated. I'm starting to lose my peace because I don't want to lose my peace. My emotional sobriety is really important to me. And I have to protect that at all costs. And so when I'm feeling uneasy, I go, okay, my boundary is when I do feel uneasiness, I give myself the time to feel the feeling and call it out to myself and identify that feeling. And when I have a hard time identifying the feeling, the consequence is that I call my sponsor and ask her what the feeling could be. Because sometimes I can't get myself there. I need that help. I need that outside help. And I'm very open to that. Like, I try my best to identify the feelings that I might have throughout my day. It's just an exercise that I do all day long. It's like figuring out what my feelings are in all the moments that I have. And giving that space and time. And it really gets me exercising those muscles. And because that's where a lot of change can happen for myself. Like, that's where I learned how to nurture myself and keep myself healthy, is by creating all these personal boundaries that are just for me. And I don't need to talk about them to everybody. I just need to act on them. And it starts with a feeling. A thing has to be made, and then a consequence has to be made. And my consequence for if I have trouble identifying a feeling is that I call someone about it and I work it out. I work it out because it's important for me that if it's coming up, it's got to come out. It's got to go somewhere. And when feelings don't get addressed, they just go out sideways in a not very safe way, and not a very good way or a healthy way. But when I can have that feeling right there, I can kind of control where it's going to go and what I'm going to do with that. I sit with it. I got to sit with it. That's a huge thing in recovery. And boundaries, personal boundaries, is a thing with a consequence and following through. Okay? So yeah, that's a bit on personal boundaries. So hang in there, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.